Thanks, Tessa, and hi, Jessie. Good to see you both ladies this morning. And good morning, Jim Tillich with Breck Fine Art Gallery. How are you?
I'm doing really good, thank you.
I love it. We went from outdoor art, the snow sculptures, to indoor art.
It is amazing to see the sculptors out there chipping ice and watering it and freezing it and moving. It's amazing.
It is amazing, and that's amazing, and I'm always amazed at all of the amazing artists that you have in your gallery. I mean, we may be a mountain town, but you are such a gem because you cover, the ends of the earth with your artists.
I really try. Thank you. That's nice of you to say.
It's true.
I love art from everywhere, and if that artist kind of was influenced, especially by the French Impressionists, then I like it even more because there's a freedom of brushstroke and the art moves a little bit. You know, there's a nice composition because the French really wanted character, kind of like Italian shoes or whatever. Everybody's got their skill.
Right.
And the French really did teach people to paint with a freedom of expression.
Ah, well, vive la France.
Yes, it's like a good skier. When you see them coming down the mountain, you can tell a little bit about their personality. It's an expression, a freedom of expression. So the painters do the same thing.
I love how you break all this down. You always do, and it's like, right, of course, that's such a fun fact.
It's kind of like real life because we are what we are and we project it usually.
This is true. That's a very good point. And speaking of we are who we are, you have a local artist today, which is so cool.
Katie Dowling. I'll have a show for her tomorrow. She'll be painting in the gallery most of the afternoon, but the show is 4 to 8 at Breck Fine Art Gallery, 421 South Main.
421 South Main. Okay.
And Katie is a good artist. She's relaxed about her painting. She is a pensive person.
Okay.
She kind of thinks things through, but then she jumps in and she just does it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Think about it a little bit and then jump in and
go do it.
Get her done. I like that.
Yeah.
But what's cool, I was noticing about her paintings is that when you look at like if it's small, it looks so different than when it's zoomed in. It's amazing.
Yes. Because her brushstrokes are relatively large, and her brushstrokes, we call it an immediacy. She has an immediacy to the way she paints. So many famous artists will say, your first brushstroke is your last one. In other words, don't work it to death.
I see.
Paint it and move on. And Katie sort of does that.
I see. Okay.
And she paints out in the open, plein air. So
can't beat that.
Yeah.
So if the weather moves in, you better finish, I guess.
Paint quick and get out.
Yes.
Right.
But all of her paintings, when I look at them, I'm like, I feel like I may have seen this on one of my hikes or excursions up here in the high country.
You could have. She was born and raised here. Now this particular one that you're looking at, I think it's interesting because she uses some colors that oftentimes you don't see in a still life. So she sets it up real well with the blue. The other colors come right off of it. And the little teapot, look how that is a step forward in color toward us from the blue in the background. And then the lemons, orange, and so forth. All that gives us a little character and feeling.
I love the vibrancy.
Yeah, that's a good word. That's exactly what she does. This piece is quite good. It draws attention in the gallery because of the difference in color.
I love the colors. I do like them. They kind of pop out and grab you. And
They do.
And that's a magnolia. I feel like I could just smell it too.
Yeah, no, that's true. You should feel that way about art. It should be real to you.
Oh, I was going to ask you about this one. I saw this one this morning. This is beautiful.
This is Maroon Bells and the lake out front.
I had a feeling I recognized that. It's kind of popular.
It really is, and that lake just reflects. So in the morning, you know, this mountain basically faces east, so you get the full morning sun.
Yes, it's phenomenal.
And that's what she's painting in the fall, of course.
And it's kind of a different take on the Maroon Bells too. I like how it's not like the Maroon Bells, but I thought I recognized the lake, and thank you. It's just so cool. I love the colors.
The setting, the reflection. So she's really working color here.
Yes.
She chose a location, but she's working with color so that you'll feel good about this fall. And yet, look at all the greens in there.
Oh, it's like fresh.
It really is. And so green is a really quite a neutral color, if you will. And then when you take some yellows and mix it in, then you get some oranges. And then she works well with giving depth to it with the blues in the background.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's almost muted in the background, and then you can tell it's a reflection because it looks just like a mirror on the bottom.
Right.
Yeah, she seems like she would be a fun girl to watch paint and chat with too, because you can tell, like you said, impressionist, it's a form of expression, and you can see her personality coming through.
You can, and as I said earlier, she is a thinker. She paints quickly, but she does have reasons for what she does.
Methods to her madness.
That's right. I enjoy her company because you can have a deep conversation about almost anything, and yet she's painting away and moving the paint around and when you paint, you call it solving problems.
Absolutely.
So
I get that.
There's a little shadow here, but that's on a red flower or something. You have to shade it. And shading means you take the color and you add gray or black to it. And at other times you want just a tint. You want it to stay the same color, but you want to lighten it. Right. So you take that color and you add white to it. Little techniques that the artists use to solve problems.
Right.
But it works. It works.
I was thinking that when you paint and do something like this, it's very meditational, so you can solve all kinds of problems aside from just what you're painting.
That's true, and Katie kind of does that. Yeah.
I could see that, and so she's going to be by tomorrow.
Right.
At your studio from 4 to 8 p.m. You said.
That's the official show, 4 to 8.
4 to 8.
But she loves to paint. She loves people. And if kids come in, she talks to them and says, well, now here's how I do this.
Oh,
and, you know, we do that in my galleries because getting the kids involved gives them a thought process, expands their little minds as to understanding the world and seeing things around
perspective.
them. Yes, it does. It gives them perspective. It gives them, and they fit in.
Right.
And then they might go home and try it with crayons. In
well,
fact,
that's wonderful.
We had guests here skiing with us, my niece and her little girl and others. And I think she got so interested in art, she took crayons and she wrote on the wall. She painted on the wall. She was so moved.
Oh! Well, and you had a little piece left.
A little bit of art, yeah, what can you say?
Did she sign it, I hope?
No, she didn't sign it, but...
She needs to sign it. Jimmy,
Okay,
you tell her these things. On the wall, of course.
She's 2, but remember, she's 2.
You should cut it out and frame it for her.
That's right, right on the wall, you know.
Oh my gosh, that's a great story. Now, tell me again, for folks that didn't catch where you're located, by the way.
421 South Main, Breckenridge, you just go right on down Main, and then at Park Street, you can turn right, and of course, that's the gallery. You're at the corner of Park and Main.
Park and Main, okay.
And we're there every day from 10 in the morning till 8 at night.
Wonderful. Well, folks, do stop by and say hello to Jim, and also say hello to Katie tomorrow, who will be there around noon and up until 8 tomorrow evening, and she can chat with you. Even bring the kiddos, and maybe they'll learn it and get inspired, and hopefully not draw on the walls. Keep an eye out for that.
We'll watch them. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very, very much for coming in. I always love chatting with you about all of the fun artists that you have featured and getting an art education. It's wonderful.
Thank you very much. I enjoy it.
All right. Guys, keep it right here. We've got more Summit Sunrise to come.